Hey y'all, we're Jimmy and Lisa with Find Us Camping. Today we're going to bring you another featured campground tour for campingreport.com.
Today's tour will be of the Thousand Trails Orlando RV Campground in Clermont, Florida. As we enter the park, on the left-hand side, you'll see kind of the recreational area. So they have tennis courts, pickleball courts, horseshoes. They have a community gardening area, mini golf, 2 pools, hot tub, playground. I think that's everything. Shuffleboard, basketball, an outdoor checkerboard and chessboard. I'm not sure where you get the pieces for that, but the boards are outside. And directly across the street on the right hand side is the brand new section that they just opened this weekend. So we're gonna go through that section first. All of the sites in this section are full hookup. They all have concrete pads and picnic tables, water, electric, sewer. So we'll do a quick through here.
If you're looking for a bathhouse, this isn't you right now because they're still working on the bathhouse here. So
yeah, it's still under construction. It's up. It's just not finished on the inside, but they did finally open these sites up. A lot of the sites here are just right out in the middle. They do have some in the back section that back up to a pond, and then on the front section, I guess it's a different pond, but you can back up to the water there as well for catch and release fishing.
this is what the sites look like. They're pretty big. This one's going to be an annual site, but they're all the same, so you get an idea what they look like. They're all concreted, and they have a picnic table for every spot.
There is a pole laying here on the ground, which we've seen in other areas. I'm assuming that's going to be a Wi-Fi tower. They are located throughout the park. That's something we can touch on right now. There is Wi-Fi in every section except for D section. The Wi-Fi in our area is only 3 sites down, and we do not have great signal with it. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not in the midst of improving it and adding on to it, but at the current time, the Wi-Fi signal is not the greatest.
Even underneath it, it's very slow.
We also have AT&T for our cell service. That's not the greatest here either. That does seem to fluctuate in different areas of the park, but of course where we're parked, we get 1, maybe 2 bars, just depending on time of day. So yeah, I can't speak for other carriers, but with our AT&T, it's not the greatest. If you're here for any length of time, you will also become familiar with the Sandhill Cranes. There's 2 of them right here. They seem to travel in groups of at least 2. Sometimes you'll see 4 of them.
They are very loud. They're
very loud. You're not supposed to feed them. They will come right up to the camper though if they think you're going to feed them. And here's that other pond. So we're gonna head on down here first and go into D section. I'm not sure that it's the older section in the campground. However, it is the section that has a lot of shaded sites. With that being said, most of them are 30 amp. There are a few 50 amp. I believe they're all full hookup though. So depending on the size of your rig, D section may or may not be a great option. But
as you can see in that new section, there is no shade whatsoever. So if you want shade, you might want to come to the D section. If you're not worried about shade, you got the whole
go
new
wherever you want to go. The other sections that we'll get to later in the video that are in the majority of the park, because this is a huge park, most of them don't have shade, but there are some trees throughout the park, so you could find a spot that has shade, but none like these back in D section. So we're gonna make the turn here into D section and do a quick through so you can see what the sights look like in this area.
As you can see, it's a little bit different than what we just came out of. So that's why we figure this is a little bit of the older section.
Maybe I was blind, known you forever while I tried to find someone that could be my great love. Right in front of me, I didn't realize you were my dream, so you took me by surprise. Oh yeah, even in my wildest dreams, I didn't think we were destined to be, and now you're laying next to me. Everything feels like, oh yeah, wanna give you every part of me. I can't believe this is reality, and now you're laying next to me. Everything feels like, oh yeah.
So in addition to the activities I mentioned previously at the rec center, they also have, I believe it's a 75-acre lake down here. So you can use, they have kayaks, john boats, and there is a pier and floating dock at the end, so you can come down here and fish. Pretty sure it's catch and release fishing. There are signs not to feed the gators, so you do have to be aware that they could be down here.
They are down here.
We saw a couple the first day we came down, and we haven't seen them since, but it's been a little windy and the water's been a little choppy every day after that. So, and then back off to the right here is the dog park, which is the only fenced in area at this park if you want to take your dogs and let them run off leash. There are plenty of areas to walk them other than that, but if you want to let them go off leash, that's going to be the area. And then right up from this is a huge, I don't know the proper term for it,
it's
but
a net.
A golf net. So if you want to come down and practice your swing, they have this net set up so you can come down here and get all your practice
I could
in.
probably miss the net.
Oh yeah, even in my wildest dreams, I didn't think we were destined to be, and now you're laying next to me. Everything feels like, oh yeah, wanna give you every part of me. I can't believe this is reality, and now you're laying next to me. Everything feels like, oh yeah. I'm just curious, when did you know you had feelings for me? Maybe somehow we've all...
So we're going to turn right here into A section, and you'll see as soon as we turn in here, there is a bathhouse right here on the corner. Some, but not all of the bathhouses at this park also have laundry facilities in the same building. This is not one of them, but there are several throughout the park that have laundry. The laundry on site is a token system. So it's 3 tokens to do a load of wash, 3 tokens to dry. The tokens are $1 a piece, and there are token machines at each of the laundry facilities. So you can get, you know, you can cash in. You can get your tokens there to do your laundry. The dryers are all gas, so they dry very quickly, but it's a 30-minute wash cycle and an hour to dry. So A section is to your right, C section is to the left. It's a mix of sites back here, 50 and 30. They're all full hookup. Majority of them are back in. There are a few pull-through sites, which are these are here on my right, which are predominantly either if you're with somebody and you want to kind of have a buddy site, or if you're just here overnight, because they're not very large sites. But if you were just pulling in to spend the night, they'd be a great place to park.
going to take you through one of these sites so you can see it. Just remember, this is two sites side by side right here. So what you see.
So we would pull in on this side, and on the other side of the pedestal, the people would pull in from the other side. So your door sides would be out, and you'd be back to back.
You probably want to be a good buddy if you're going to stay in these sites because they're pretty close. As you can see how close they are right there. But they all still have full hookup, water, sewer, and power.
Maybe I was blind, known you forever while I tried to find someone that could be my great love. Right in front of me, I didn't realize you were my dream.
Most of the sites here seem to be concrete or pavement pads. Some of them, the pavement's older and it's cracked up and it almost seems more like gravel. But none of them are like extremely unlevel. So, but they are, with the exception of those few back there, they are all back in sites.
So you took me by surprise. Oh yeah, even in my wildest dreams, I didn't think we were destined to be. And now you're laying next to me. Everything feels like, oh yeah, when I give you every part.
We'll show you one of these sites that she was talking about. This looks like the old concrete that's tore up. Hopefully you can see.
So you can see it's not gravel. It is solid, and it either used to be asphalt or concrete. But it's still better than parking in the sand.
Or grass.
I can't believe this is reality. And now you're laying next to me. Everything feels like, oh yeah.
So this bathhouse, which I believe is in B section, is one of the ones that has restrooms as well as laundry facility. This is bringing us up on the back side of the rec center, so you can see the playground. And then within this fenced in area right here are the dumpsters. So in this park, there are not dumpsters throughout the park. If you have trash, no matter where you're staying, you have to bring it here. They have 3 large trash compactors, and then on the end is the recycling bin. So if you have trash or recycling, this is where you need to bring it.
I'm just curious, when did you know you had feelings for me? Maybe somehow we've always known that we have chemistry, but always chasing after someone else. So this took me by surprise.
So in the rec center building as well is the camp store, which has you know, a few grocery items, some camper supplies, hoses, connectors, that kind of thing. Also is the mail room, so ingoing, outgoing mail. There's a big community room. Right now with the COVID restrictions, social distancing restrictions, there's not a lot going on in there, but they do have bingo normally and different events, community events. I do think they're having some sort of meal for Thanksgiving. It's like $3 a person or something. So they will be having that, but whatever social distancing requirements, they'll be practicing that. And then behind us where the pool is, the pools are outdoor pools, but there is a building beside them for the bathrooms for the pools, and there is an exercise room with exercise equipment. It's currently under construction, so we couldn't get any good footage of it because everything's kind of disassembled, but just know that they do have that, and once they get the construction completed, that'll be something else you can use while you're here.
Oh yeah, even in my wildest dreams, I didn't think we were destined to be. And now you're laying
at the building before you come through the gate, or if you're already in, as soon as you leave through the gate, that used to be the check-in office, or I don't know what you would call it, and they do have some outdoor activities there. There are also horseshoe pits there. They have outdoor duck pin bowling. So I didn't mention that earlier because it's not at this facility, but it's at the other building.
She didn't mention it because she didn't do very well playing.
Well, there's that too. And then they have, I don't know what the game's called, but you have the two, I don't know, the little posts, and you throw the string that's got the balls on either end. You try to rope them around. Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but they have that up there too.
Think about me, and I know I shouldn't care. I really tried my best, but I can't make you happy, and I can't stop time for you. I don't know why.
If you're familiar with this park, or if you've heard of this park, they used to have, it used to back up to farmland, and there were cows, and people would shoot pictures and post pictures and videos of the cattle. They would come right up to the fence. The farmer has sold that, so that's the area you can see behind all these campers. It's being cleared out, and rumor has it that it's going to be a subdivision. It's not owned by the campground. It's going to be a subdivision that will back up to the campground. So if you come stay here, and don't bother looking for the cattle, they're not here anymore. It's going to be houses. So this park is the Orlando RV campground, but it's in Clermont, Florida, which is on the outskirts of Orlando, which means it is nearby to Disney, SeaWorld, Universal Studios, all the Disney theme parks. It's a short drive. If the weather's right, you can actually see the fireworks from Disney when they set them off from this park. So that gives you some idea how close by it is. And there's plenty of, within, I don't know, 3 minutes maybe of the campground, there's a Publix, a Wawa for fuel. There are several little shopping malls, not shopping malls, but strip malls. There's a Walmart, lots of restaurants. So there's plenty to do in this area. If you have bikes, there's plenty to do within a good bike ride. You don't even have to go that far. So you could get out if you're a walker. You could walk to a lot of the things nearby. And even if you don't want to leave the park, it's a huge park, so it's a great place to get out and walk and ride just around the park.
We couldn't work this out, because you know I tried the best I could. I don't know how or what I could have done better. Baby, I really tried the best I could. I can't stop time for you.
Chances are, if you're watching this video, it's because you already have an RV or a tent and you like to go to the campgrounds and do just that, camp. But just in case you maybe want to use a cabin, or you want to meet up with friends that don't have an RV and they want to stay in a cabin and you're going to bring your RV, there are cabins for rent in this park as well, just as a side note. So this is I section, which, as you can see, is cabins around the outside, RV sites in the middle. I think some of these cabins are owned, but some of them may be rentals as well. So again, if you were meeting up with somebody that didn't have an RV and they were looking for a cabin, this might be a good section option to try to get in this section. The sites here are first come, first serve. So if there's a certain area you want when you get here, you can definitely head to that area and see if they have anything open. We are in the little strip of I that's coming back to this circle, which was great for us in our toy hauler because we could back up and put the deck down, and there was a big grassy area behind us to take the dogs out and let them walk. So, as the case seems to be at most parks we've noticed in Florida, there are no fires allowed at your campsite, or if there are, they have to be in fire pits that are raised off the ground and have like the screen mesh lid. This is a community fire pit here, and it's my understanding that they have different times, like they'll have a bonfire here sponsored by the campground, and I guess they have a lid for it and seating there. But there's not going to be fire pits at your campsite because it's just not allowed. The campsites here do have picnic tables though. Thanks for tuning in to this featured campground tour for camperreport.com. If you're not already, please subscribe to their YouTube channel and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss the next featured campground tour.
And until the next time you find us camping,
safe travels everyone.
I don't wanna be with somebody who's never gonna be around.